So today something is actually happening. Today we're going to do loads of stuff. Today we're going to Birmingham because tonight we're going to see Jimmy Carr. We're going to Shake Shack that has apparently just opened up in Birmingham for dinner. And we're going early enough, like it's only 1 PM. I'm typically not even awake yet. Because we're going to get Neve sized up for a ring. And what else are we doing? We'll go to CEX in Birmingham because, you know, got to do something productive today, right? And HMV as well, probably, because some more films to look out for. Although, something that is annoying is that modern Blu-rays have got the skinny cases, so like there's almost like a cut-off. I think it's at some point last year where now every Blu-ray is skinny. So, luckily, most Blu-rays that I care to own are stuff that's older and less accessible. But yeah, that's the plan for today. But first, I'm going to have a protein cookie. So, let's hope I've got some left and don't have to go digging. I've got one more in that box. Code Cayle at my protein. Code Cayle at my protein. I will repeat, code Cayle at my protein. Something else that I did last night was made a bit more of a formal list of Blu-rays that I want to replace, DVDs that I want to replace with Blu-rays from what I got there. Because now when I go into CX, I'm sitting there thinking, do we already have that? Did I already replace that? I don't really know. Whereas before I could just walk in and grab handfuls of Blu-rays and it'd be a pretty safe bet that, you know, was something we didn't already have. And also going through it, a lot of it is stuff that I don't think I need to replace or want to replace. Alternatively, some of the stuff is sad in that I can't replace it because some things just did not get Blu-ray versions. But I still want to own them. So for example, like, this is going to sound silly, but the Casper films. So there's Casper, Casper A Spirited Beginning, Casper's Haunted Christmas, and Casper Meets Wendy. Only the 1995 theatrically released Casper actually has a Blu-ray of those, I think. So that's kind of annoying. So maybe I need to funnel that down to the kids somehow, because I want there to be like blocks of Blu-rays up there, but you know.
No, there's that little tuft stuck to her.
Ruby just got stuck in her bed somehow. Her claw caught on a fibro. You've never done that in your life.
You're pulling it away from me now.
Your inability to be self-sufficient. Ruby! And Ruby is going to Neve's mother's house for the day, because we're going to be out until decently late, and it's too long for her to stay on her own. So she can have a trip to her grand's. Oh look, a child has fallen into the road. But I'm sure the parents will blame the cars. I'm sure. Right, let's go. What is it with the teens these days walking around with the balaclavas on, like literally like prepubescent, with the man bags? I'm so Are you intimidated? I'm intimidated.
They're so scary.
I'm actually weird myself. But now we've got a mayo chicken. Well, we made it to Birmingham. How'd you know? Because of the bull. Of course. Neve's bought like some £70 hot drink from some hipster shop. Let's get a judgment.
It's honey, vanilla and cinnamon.
What the f... No. That tasted like bird seed mixed with giraffe poo. Don't ask me why I know that. So, we've come to the jewellery bit of Birmingham. Jewellery quarter, whatever.
Thanks. Like nearly half of the UK story.
Although they've changed the name. Apparently she's booked with a place that doesn't exist anymore.
No, I do know that because when I rang, he said, "Oh, which jewellers are you speaking for?" It must be one's a manufacturer, one's like the.
Can't get 5 seconds without hearing a beep. Well, at least the sun's come out, and now we're going indoors.
My hands are getting all pink and it's cold.
Do I put one on?
They won't fit on you.
Why not me? Do you want to put the other one as well, or? What's the difference?
Well, that one's got, I don't know what the names of the setting are, but you can see like...
They all look the same to me.
I think this is called the shank.
The top part?
Yeah, this is the...
What did you say?
That's 2.5.
2.5.
Wise man.
Fuck you.
It's whichever one you prefer, really. It's your hand.
Yeah, I want your opinion though. So with the 3, that band is just the sample that you've got it on. I wouldn't necessarily have to go for a band that thick for it.
No, you have.
Well, we're out and somebody over there is getting a ticket. What a fun job he's got. But
I can see the library from here. Looks like a cake.
yeah, and he's picked her £30,000 ring or whatever she
I
wants.
wish. You're the one that told me to get the bigger one.
If you're picking between like 0.5 or 0.5 lower, then get the one you want.
I don't know which one I want.
Well, you see. Because the 3 look way bigger than the 2.5. Okay, now we're walking back across to the CEX. The CEX have reprinted covers because everything in Birmingham's stolen. I'm wondering,
They just don't have it.
is there still going to be a stolen reprinted cover for God of War Volume 2? Willing to bet? Let's go find out. We've arrived. Let's go in. I feel like it's going to be busy. I don't know why, but I do. So as predicted, this CEX has got a crazy amount of reprinted covers. Reprinted covers for systems that I didn't know did reprinted covers. For example, I don't think I've ever seen a PSP or a DS reprinted cover before, but we're about to. I was going to say, I don't understand why, but I do understand why. It's Birmingham. People steal cases because of 2 reasons. One, well, the overarching reason is that people that steal things in the first place are genuinely or generally, actually both of those are applicable here, not the most intelligent people to begin with, in that they don't realise there's no game in the case and think that they're getting a free game. And then there is also the case that the case alone has value in some crazy expensive games, and they can sell that on its own. For example, that God of War 2 collection that inevitably we're going to find shortly, being nearly 80 quid now means that even absent a disc, that holds value, because to a collector, it isn't just about the game itself. If it was just about the game itself, everybody would just emulate, you know? It's like how books and music and art are all incredibly expensive things, but they're all stuff that you can just go on Google and find the exact thing and it'd be no different. Like, I could print off the Mona Lisa, but I haven't got the Mona Lisa, to have a rather dramatic example there. But it's just crazy, in Birmingham in particular, how many reprinted covers there are. Somebody told me that I should go to Derby if I want to see a lot of reprinted covers, which would be interesting, because there was a while when I had a massive list of things that I was after. Like last year when I first started like really looking for a load of different specific things, there was a lot that was in Derby, but the problem is with going to Derby is there is a gym up there that I am obliged to train in if I do visit Derby, so I've got to make an entire day of it rather than just a CEX trip, especially with how far away it is. So it's like, I need to do both rather than just CEX, which means it's got to be timed appropriately versus the rest of my training split. But anyway, that Derby CEX has apparently got a lot of reprinted covers in as well, which is strange because I wouldn't have thought Derby is any more of a hotspot of crime than like Cannock might be. And Cannock doesn't have that many reprinted covers. In fact, Stafford's got more reprinted covers than Cannock. But also, I don't understand how Birmingham decide what's going behind the glass, because some of these 360 games are cheaper than some of the games that are on the shop floor. Just, it wouldn't have got stolen if it wasn't on the shop floor to begin with. Like, what are you doing? Just think. Just be more logical with your decision making. And at some point, I want those PS3 Spider-Mans, even though I've got them on 360, just because it would look better. The problems of collecting, I suppose. And then, like, some of the cases that they reprint the covers into aren't even the legit cases. Like that purple case, it's like a Connect case, but I'm pretty sure that it's not supposed to be in a purple case. How hard would it be to put it in the correct case? You've already wrecked the art. You might as well put it in the right coloured case, you know? There's a lot of people in this CEX too, which, you know, Saturday in Birmingham, so not really surprised, but it was a little bit difficult to not get people in the shot. And I always try not to get people in the shot because typically people don't want to be filmed, but I just try not to film people ever. Granted, it was a bit difficult in certain places in Birmingham today, especially later on when we go to the Jimmy Carr. You know, there's a lot going on. And then, yeah, that's about it. Now we're in the ball ring. I'm just waiting for Neve to return from the lose and try not to get my camera snatched out of my hands. Then we're going to HMV, have a browse around there. I actually did get some stuff for once from CEX. Alright, now I'm looking in HMV for some specific Blu-rays. Started off at the anime section because I'm always curious as to what they've got, because often what they consider anime and what might be considered the whole anime isn't necessarily the same thing. But this HMV's been nerfed massively compared to a few years ago. I think it's because I think about 5 years ago, they opened up a second HMV called the Vault, which does have a lot of stuff in, but it's not in the Bullring. This was the HMV that is in the Bullring, and it just doesn't have very much stuff. It's almost like the game of HMVs, like a little bit of games, a little bit of films, and then just lots and lots of merchandise. And I do wonder how many people are actually going into HMV and genuinely buying merchandise. Because, you know, really? I know that there's people that like pop figures and stuff, but like, you know, genuinely, collecting pop figures might be more common than collecting games, which that's a crazy one to me, because at least games, like, you can play them. Whereas a pop figure, genuinely, I've said genuinely so many times in this video, if you took a shot every time I said that in this video, you'd be dead. Pop figures, it's one of them where they stay in the box forever for most people and just get piled up. I guess people collect what they collect. I'm not one to talk. But I'm glad they had at least the horror section. Managed to complete like a couple of franchises while we were in here. Not many though. And then over to the kids section, because I'm always interested in what Scooby-Doo stuff there are, and like what reprinted version, or what not reprinted, but like fake covers they've got. So if you look there, one of those Scooby-Doo covers is bright orange. I consider that a fake cover. That's not the original cover that it would have had on its release. They did the same thing with like Zombie Island and all the rest of them. It's strange to me. But now we're off to go look at shoes.
I've been relegated to boyfriend chair while
You say that as if we weren't just trying shoes on for you upstairs.
you take longer.
Actually, me too.
All right, lunch to dinner time at 7 o'clock. We've got just under an hour till Jimmy. We're going to Shake Shack, because apparently it's good. But she says it's Five Guys prices, and Five Guys prices are expensive.
Five Guys.
So our order for a burger and fries each has come to $38.59. Got any voucher codes?
No.
Code Cayle doesn't work in here, I would imagine. Code Cayle should work everywhere, you heard. I've been sat here for like 15 minutes while Neve's been in this queue to get this food. There's no sign of it yet though. I don't know what's going on. That took a while. So we've got the chips.
Minutes.
17 minutes. Let's spin it around and see your burger then, because mine looks like it's falling apart really.
Those chips are so good, try them. They're so crispy, so salty.
That was a good chip. Right, we had to eat very quickly because
Kitchen is really painful.
we're running out of time to get to the Jimmy Carr show. So
You say it took 17 minutes to bring us our food.
was it 17 minutes from order to you picking it up, or 17 minutes to you getting to the table? Because getting to the table is probably even longer.
I don't know. It was 17 minutes from when I paid on my
Fast.
Apple Pay to when I got the food.
It's fast food though, isn't it? So it's really, really, really fast. Of course it is. Oh dear. I don't know if I'll be able to get any filming done inside of the hall because you're not supposed to film stuff. I'll try and get like a short clip. Well, we made it, just about. Good seats.
Deal with this now, but if you go that way, just let's de-escalate. If we can de-escalate, that'd be great. Otherwise, the staff here have to write a fucking report and call the police. Guy in the black, I don't mind buying you a beer, but you need to fuck off right now. Everything about that was a little bit cocaine, my friend. You need to you need to not be here. Huh? Well, either security are going to come and do this, or you could go now and we'll do it very nicely.
Every year, past the end, it's about 1780.
Right then, we're back in the car. We survived the train. I was gonna vlog like leaving Jimmy Carr and walking back, but we had to literally like power walk. Can't sprint because I'll fall over in these shoes. Need new shoes. We did, that's why we went to look at shoes. But we ended up having to leave Jimmy a bit early, like
Probably about 3 to 5 minutes early.
Yeah, he was
testing new jokes.
He was wrapping up,
But because of all the drama and stuff, he was like running 20 minutes late, and we were going to miss a train. We had a 30-minute buffer zone for our train, but we still.
And it was only a 10-minute walk to the station if we put a step on.
But we ended up having to leave a couple of minutes early, which is a bit of a curse we have every time we see comedy. It was the third time we've had to do that, even though.
We could get a later train.
On RS6.
But it's 30 minutes later than the train we wanted to get, and we would have just been sat around the station for ages.
Yeah. Then what? Then that train was just mega busy, where we were all shoulder to shoulder.
If we
for
hadn't
half an hour.
planned to pick the dog up, I would have said, let's just get the later one. But I didn't want to.
Now I've got to go. Now I've got to go get the dog back.
That's a nice car.
It's a nice colour. A bit long though. That car is a good example of how cars have gotten too big for UK spots. That car was longer than the spot it was in, and that one. This one here. This massive BMW.
It's poking into the walkway.
Yeah, like UK spots have not. UK spots haven't inflated with the car size inflation. I'm so glad I managed to get on camera the bit where he was kicking off at the guy that wouldn't shut up. Need that in the cinema. That is the sort of like.
That's the energy you need to bring.
That's the energy we. That's the energy we need in the cinema when people are misbehaving. The same way a comedian will embarrass the shit out of you for misbehaving at a comedy show and get you kicked out.
The only thing is though, if you did that, then it would not be appropriate to do that.
Daredevil.
You'd be worse.
Daredevil. Daredevil with a ponytail and a ginger beard.
Yeah, it's got glasses.
Yeah, I've got glasses.
He's just not wearing them.
It feels way cheaper.
128.9.
That's come down like 5p.
It was 135 last week.
I do need to fuel up. I've only got half a tank, which in
Thank you, Donald Trump.
I've only got. Don't say that. I've only got half a tank, which in our cars means I've got like a quarter of a tank. The first like 3 notches.
My 2 notches have lasted 3 weeks.
Yeah, the first.
What's gone on there?
We've got like 8 total notches in our cars, and the first 2 or 3 notches is worth more than the rest of the tank combined. Yeah.
Oh.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Did you miss us? Did you miss us? Oh, hello. I got a jump. Hello. Hello.
Goodbye. And now it's home time, Ruby.
Bought you a treat?
With your chicken foot. Ruby bit that so hard that she had to shut her eyes just then. Do you see that? Ruby,
Is that?
you can chew it, love. You don't need to go right the way down. Alright then, let's do today's CEX haul now that we are home. Not a massive one, but still some stuff, and of course a little bit from HMV. So, from the top, flip it over. We got Parasite, because the other day we watched, what did we watch?
Mickey
By him.
17.
Mickey 17.
We have seen Parasite.
We have seen Parasite in the cinema when it came out. Final Destination 3, because apparently I didn't have this one on Blu-ray yet. Annabelle and Annabelle Comes Home, because didn't have either of those on Blu-ray and nearly have all the Conjuring verse. Agony, because I've been after that one for a while and Birmingham had it. And then finally, John Wick 4, because it was the only John Wick that I was missing, and this one was from HMV and it was on a little bit of an offer and near enough the same price as at CEX. So, at some point soon I'm going to have to do another video putting them all on the shelf. Parasite's got such a weird case, but yeah. Cool. And that brings us to the end of today's video. A bit of a different one. I actually went out and did things. You know, once the weather is better, I'm sure more things will happen more frequently, because even going out in Birmingham, it was freezing the entire day. The wind, it was one of them where we checked like the temperature and it was like, is 5 degrees, feels like 0. So that was great. Busy one. Hopefully people watched all the way through. Good Lord. Do you know what's interesting is, I know nothing about the whole engagement ring thing. That's why we had to go, so that like I know what I'm supposed to get, because Neve is going to be very particular about that when it comes time. And apparently the difference between like a lab-grown diamond and like a real diamond is dramatic. Like them 3 carat ones we were looking at, she went on the website when we left to try and work out like what the actual prices were of what we were actually looking at in the place. And like the 3 carat one is like $4,000 for a lab-grown. But if you want a real diamond, like a natural diamond, I think, they probably don't use the word real, because if you buy something that is not real, they're less likely to sell it. Now we're back to reprinted covers at CEX. Like 60 grand. What? So yeah, lab grown it is. I take that to mean that just everybody has a lab grown diamond. That's what I'm hearing there. Because no one's spending 60 grand on a ring, surely, not unless you're like Bezos. But yeah, interesting day, I suppose. Interesting day indeed. The Jimmy Carr thing was funny. I'm glad that I managed to get the kick off on camera, because
They have like signs everywhere saying no filming and like people wandering around telling people off for filming. But like, I thought I could get away with it while it was all kicking off. I was like, I can definitely film this. So I'm glad that I did. And then we got stuck on the train shoulder to shoulder with people because it was crazy busy. This one woman was telling us all about how she's divorced and how nobody should ever get married and about how she hates all men. So that was an interesting half an hour. So yeah, right. See you later.